Dear investor, good evening and welcome to this motivational talk in order to convince you that investing in Cementos Argos is one of your best choices for investment in this present year. Let's begin on a bit of history of Grupo Argos, also known as Cementos Argos. It's a Colombian conglomerate focusing on the industry of cement, the cement production. It began operations in 1934, the year where it was created in the city of Medellin, also known as the Industrial Valley of Colombia. Also, during the years during its 85-year history, Cementos Argos has been known as one of the most innovative and top-tier companies in Colombia by acquiring and merging with several other smaller cement companies in Colombia. Currently, Argos has Cemex from Mexico, Votorantim from Brazil, Holcim from Switzerland, and Lafarge from France as one of its most important competitors. A yearly revenue of nearly 5 billion US dollars shows that the company is not only in a real healthy economic state, but also generates profits and revenues enough to keep going and growing on its business. Currently has presence in 15 countries in the Americas, Colombia being the home country where it's the main lead of the market. Also in Central America, mainly in Panama and Honduras, where it has mills, and several countries of the Caribbean, such as Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico, where it also has mills, and in the United States. Although it's not one of the most top tier competitors in the US market, it still has a very large presence in southeastern United States, mainly in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana. As being one of the most top used commodities in the world, actually the second most used product in the world, just after water, cement is regarded as an important economic factor for developing economies, such as the Latin American ones, but also to the top economies in the world, namely the United States and China, due as the cement is one of the main products to the building industry, not only for buildings and roads, but also for components such as pavement, concrete, which made the cement really solicited and needed element for the world's development. Therefore, the market share for Argos is important in the countries where it has operations. Due to its long-standing history and reputation gained by decades of hard work, innovation process, and technical certifications and updates, this has meant Argos is not only one of the most prepared companies in its sector, but also will help and launch new innovative products that may help on the needs of the demanding companies and the demanding sector. The environmental issues, however, are more concerned on how the cement production can affect the environment, namely air and water. Argos is currently struggling with finding better solutions that are eco-friendly and focus on how to leave the little least impact in the countries where you operate. Innovative processes such as making this a more eco-friendly cement in terms of the wastes of the production process have led and have cemented Argos' position as one of the strongest and solidest in its sector. Also, in the Colombian market, as Argos has a dominant position, is currently facing competition from other companies such as I mentioned before, Holcim, Votorantim, and Cemex. We're going to talk that in Colombia specifically, there's a sort of a cartel in which these four competitors have, let's say, agreed to keep stabilized price for the cement, which although it's low compared to other countries, it's still a negative feedback for not only Argos but for all the cement industry, because this means the they're not competing each other. They're just fixing the price market due to their strong presence and big corporative image and power. So this might, at the near future, affect the Argus position and image on the Colombian market. The positive feedback could be that as a Colombian company, it still has the strong approval from several society sectors. Moving now to the financial statements and economic results of Argus, it's important to say that the business model of Argus is, first one, following the massive company and brand recognition structure, which is important, as I mentioned before, in order to strengthen its position and to be away, keep a safe distance from its competitors, give the extra mile. It also helps its huge position and its huge market share to reach as many clients as possible. This four can help the company in order to increase its install capacity in the productive process, which means that the production of Argus will be increasing as it has been increasing in the last years, with percentages between the 15 and 20%. That's a really excellent indicator, which states that the business is not only profitable, but the company has had the possibility to grow its market share due to, as I mentioned before, the quality of its products and the recognition it has from the market. One of the most important results is the net utility, which has a sharp increase from 2017 and 2018, passing from 78 billion pesos, we're talking about pesos for this exercise, up to nearly 300 billion pesos. That mean at least a 400% growth. That shows that the company has wisely invested its money, mainly in the property, plant, and equipment. We can say that it's a long-term financial strategy in which the company, as explained before, focuses on the growth and the increasing of its producing capacity, not only in Colombia, but also in other countries such as the United States and Puerto Rico, that helps to increase its production and its related sales, meaning bigger profits and a huge important revenue. Inventories are also kept low. It only represents 4.5% of the assets, which means that there's a heavy inventory rotation that shows that the production, this produced cement is sold quickly, keeping on the demands of the market and showing that Argus is real well connected and synchronized with the market's necessities, with the client's necessities. There's also an interesting percentage, another interesting account is the cost of product sold, which means an 81% of the total sales. This means that there's a really good negotiation skill, negotiation efforts between Argus and its suppliers, which means lower productive costs and a higher operational ratio. There's also a really low financial obligations, which means that the company it's up to date with its financial obligations, with its debts, credits, and let's say banking responsibility with its acquirers, mainly banks, which means that Argus is really keeping its financial rich and its cash flow. The cash flow is a really important indicator for Argus because it says and it states that there's a huge money influx within the company due to its production operations. Also, the current assets are currently balancing and supporting all the Argus financial success. There's a huge importance on turning liquid accounts receivable from last years which says that the board of directors wanted to capitalize the net operational profits and turn it into either cash for several reasons, and also to, in terms of shares, for the shareholders of the company. There's actually a skyrocketing of the cash count between 2017 and 2018. And also the net income had also an increase and a really big turnaround of nearly 213 billion Colombian pesos, mainly because of the sales in the most important markets that are Colombia, the United States, and the Caribbean islands. Let's say I'm talking about the financial part of the company. Although Argos might have some troubles with competition, especially in the United States where it's fierce. The two positive impacts regarding the financial statements is the first one, Argus is capitalizing all its shares and all its profits in US dollars. It currently is one of the strongest currencies in the world, meaning that there will be no liabilities, future liabilities on money conversion. Second, the good name and the good brand and the lower prices they keep and help to pay the liabilities that more generally are in USD. Also, the variations in the exchange rates might affect the local Colombian Argus team, but as expressed before, the current capitalization of the company might help to stop it. Also, on the commodities risk and the hedge. Currently, for nearly all the whole markets, there is a little to no risk. First of all, both clay, water, and other elements that the company uses to produce cement are either cheap and easy to find in the market. So there's no big deal to get worries or to preoccupy regarding the commodities. However, there's risk regarding the long-term investments due to the continuing changes of the interest rates not only in Colombia but focusing also in the United States, by which the company can focus the research of different resources for financing and sustaining that production. So it actually depends in which market we're talking about. But generally, the good name, the good brand, and the huge impact that the company has in the market might help for getting financial advisors or financial people that want to invest in the company for, let's say, long-term investments. And finally, regarding the hedge, it's important to say that Argus can agree the current prices in the present with its different clients and even suppliers in order to get fixed for the current actual price and avoid any kind of deals in the future. So, dear sir, dear madam, what I recommend to you in order to invest in Argus is to currently do a hedge for the current USD price that is stronger than the Colombian peso, and try to invest in at least mid-term between 3 and 5 years, due to past trends have shown that Argus is strengthening its position in all the markets where it has operations. The sharp and the skyrocketing of the financial and productive plans are a really important statement that shows the company is growing and is growing steadily, is growing fast, and it's also giving a really big upbringing for its sector, which means that there is a lot of good things that are happening in Argus. So what I can advise you is to invest in a mid-term position, mainly in US dollars, and focusing in property, plant, and equipment. As I explained before, and to end this summary, Argus is a really solid company, which can say that your investments will be not only protected, but will get the profits and revenues you ever wanted. Thank you.